Morning students, welcome in the lecture of SS, soil resources, and if you talk about the topic of today's, that is related with the natural resources to here. Now as I said you, the soil resources, it means that today's topic is properly, absolutely depending over the remedies, resources and with the other fundamental duties of our own. Now before starting the soil resources or the remedies or the conservation of the methods and many more things related to the soil, I would like to complete the topic which I left in the last lecture or which I made you understand in my previous lecture. So as you have seen this thing in the lecture previous part 3rd, that which kind of soils are there: alluvial soil, then if you go more further, red soil is there, black soil, laterite soil, desert soil. Now it is a term where we need to move on the mountainous soil, the forest soil, and furthermore to the marshalized and the peat soil. Itself the name mountainous soil is somehow relating with the fact and theory is that this type of soil can be found inside the slopey zone. As well, the slopey river side near to the mountain. Now, mountainous soil consists of its own different category, where we generally know that these kinds of soil are rarely available because everywhere we don't find the mountains. And if you read about the detail, so these kinds of soil are nowadays or from the ancient time are found from the most of the regions of Himalayan side. And also we can say that mountainous soil is having the altitude higher compared with the other soil or the soil which is very lower to the plain surface. It can be crossing more than 1000 also, or you can say that Himalayan mountain soil somehow it can be related with the about altitude of 2700 to 3000 meters height from the ground base. And also if you go more in the detail about this mountainous soil, then you can write some factor using the soil's information, climatical change and many more value and factor which is depending over this formation of the soil, where we can say that this is the soil which is having an undeveloped layer of the surface. So this soil is found in the zone of Indian states, or you can say that some of the neighboring provinces of India. So we'll take some of the spot states of the India where these kinds of soils are available, which is also known as the mountainous soil. That can be Assam, Darjeeling, Uttarakhand, if you know that, Himachal Pradesh. These all ranges are nearby the Himalayan foothills. Then some of the Himachal Pradesh, and if you go more further, so these kinds of soil can be also available in the Kashmir zone of the part. This soil is found in the general altitude, as I have said you, region where pine trees are also available, shady trees are also available. So that can be said as the mountainous soil. So you need to understand here, and the mountainous soil, it is available which is in the mountain zone and its altitude can be going more than 2700 to the 3000 meters to here. So now moving to the forest soil. Now what is forest soil? Let's understand today the detailed factor about the forest soil. Forest soil itself consisting a name forest, which means that, or it is highly indicating you that these type of soil is found inside the forest zone or the forest area. Now if you talk about the forest area, within the altitude also we need to focus out here. So it can be available within the altitude of 3000 to 3100 meters. In the coniferous forest, most of this soil is available. Apart from that, the forest available inside the ranges of Himalaya zone like Sahyadri, Eastern Ghats, and if you go more further to the Terai region of the Himalayas also, these kinds of soils are available. So the surface of the earth, if you take a detailed example of that, then the surface of the earth is covered by the shaded leaves at these kinds of areas in the forest zone. And also the leaves shade their leaves from the trees from week to week, 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. It means that they will look like every time there is always greenery inside the forest. Actually it is alternative leaves shedding. So they shed their leaves every time alternatively. Also in the soil, the presence of humus is very large in the amount due to all the animals, creatures, birds and many more plant and trees, dead decayed animals present in this surrounding here. So apart from that, if these all things are happening or these all things are there in the soil, the land become somehow black due to this kinds of presence and increases somehow in the humus too, as I have said you, inside the forest soil. So beside, if you talk about the decaying leaves, animal body parts and many more things are also decaying inside that. So it changes into blue and red color also sometime if you go downside with the soil and the land formation. And beside that, if you talk about the croppings or if you talk about the things which can be grown from this soil, so we can say that coffee, tea, spices, condiments and wheat, maize, apart from that barley and then paddy etc. can be easily grown in this kinds of forest soil. So therefore we can say that this soil is found in very limited area because we have forest also very limited inside the area. According to the survey of 33% of the agricultural land, 26% is now remaining only for the forest. So we need to understand that forest conservation and the conservation of the farm is also very necessary. So student, here the forest example is somehow finished. Now let's move to the marshalized or the peat soil. Now what is marshalized and the peat soil? Let's understand. This type of soil is developed inside the humid region where the water availability is very extra in the amount, and also due to accumulation of the biotic elements during the rainy season, this land become very submerged under the water. Means the water is covered whole over the land and therefore water recedes inside, percolating inside and outside too here, and somehow we can say the crops which are needing more and extra water can be grown here like paddy crops. And also if you go more further, there is an excess of biotic element, means extra excess of the biotic elements present inside this soil, such as minerals too are one of the contemporary development of the soil internally. So it is available here. And if you talk about, but some things are insufficient also or absent also in this soil, like if you talk, phosphate is there, which is very less amount present here in the soil. I'm talking about the peat and marshalized soil. And also potash is available very less in this amount. So some crops which are needing this phosphate or potash can be somehow not grown here, or they can be not developed well here. So such soil is found inside the states of Orissa, inside the state of West Bengal, inside the coastal Tamil Nadu, also central area of the northern Bihar side, and Almora district of your Uttarakhand too here. So this is the peat soil which I am actually trying to make you understand. So this soil has a very limited extent. Very limited extent means they don't extend for a farther place here. So these are also very limited extent here. So my dear student, this was the basic topic and general information about the soil formation. If I talk about soil formation, we need to also understand that what is actually the soil erosion. Conservation of the soil, building of the soil, or we can say that making of the soil is a process which is very important process. It's a very vital process, but we need to understand that along with the conservation of the soil, along with the formation of the soil, we need to also generate some of the methods which can which can cure the soil also from the erosion, and also which can somehow lead the soil's healthy life for the future development too here. Because if the soil is not healthy, it is not fertile, it is not rich in the minerals, obviously the croppings should going to be face many problems in the future. So let's talk about the soil erosion, today's topic. Then we'll go to the soil conservation. So soil erosion. Now what is soil erosion? Soil erosion means, we can say, the transportation of the land from one place to another. When the land is transporting from one place to another, to which help itself to move on, is also somehow known as erosion. Now which are responsible factor for that? The responsible factor are air, water. Okay, air and water are most responsible factor for that, in which you can say that soil particles are moving from one place to another. So after that, if we talk about the surface land of the water surface water also plays a vital role in the moving the soil from one place to another. Sometimes naturally they are flowing, sometimes we can say by the activity of man-made also soil is eroded out. So this is the factor which we need to understand here. Now, as we know and as we go, it is known that the upper layer of the soil is very thin, or we can say it is very less amount available, and it is not available everywhere in the same quantity. So the upper layer, if the soil is in the particle form, if the soil particles are moving from one place to another in the heavy rain, in the storm, in the landslides and all, that can be also heavily affecting to the production of the agriculture, means you will not get a better productivity. So that can be also the reason of the soil erosion. So it should be somehow prevented. How it can be prevented? By planting up the trees, because trees holds the root. Trees are actually holded by the roots, and roots are holding the ground, that we all know. So ground is holded by the roots. So when there is any heavy flow of the water, wind, air, or you can say that any human activity, the soil is easily not moving from there, from its own place. So that can be also somehow protection about the soil erosion, and you should know about the soil erosion factors too here, and how can be prevented here. So now the thing which you can see behind me or the blackboard is the factor which I need to explain you very soon enough. Now, what are the measures of the soil conservation? We need to understand the measures of the soil conservation. Now, soil can be conserved on the different factor. If you can check it out, soil can be measured on the different factor. Now, how it can be measured? If you talk about the first method, if you go to the first method of the measures, there are lots of things which we need to understand. That control grazing should be also there. If the animals are going to graze themselves, or the human activities are there which are sending animal to graze out there, they should also stop it out, because it is actually imbalancing the ecosystem of that area or of the surrounding here. Second thing is that plantation should be done. Plant more and more trees should be carried out in the region where the soil erosion is about to take place, या फिर जहाँ आपको लगता है कि यहाँ मिट्टी अच्छी नहीं है, वहाँ ट्राई कीजिए कुछ ऐसे plants लगाने के लिए which can help the soil. And apart from that, plant trees in the fallow land. Fallow land means what? One land is covering good amount of soil, another is not covering the good amount of soil. Now in that case, you need to plant the trees in the fallow land, in the both of the lands. And apart from there, if you go more further, then these kinds of methods should be also obtained. These I'll explain you later. So the fourth topic is that, related to that, construct the check dams. Small check dams can be also constructed. You can see in the figure number 8.4, soil erosion, and below that you can see that in your page lesson number 8, that how dams could be constructed, how it can be constructed. Check dams, small. Okay, then cultivate very deeply inside so that it reduces the speed of water. Cultivation of the crops, plantation of the trees should be done very deep, so that it could be making you help before starting the soil erosion to stop it out, and that will also better for you. And if you go more further, many more factors are responsible for the soil erosion, so you need to take and examine that factor also whole of the year. If you are about to make the planning of the soil erosions, you can say that a prohibition, or if you are going to stop that soil erosion, you need to go with the all factors and you need to understand also. So now, my dear students, let's understand this figure. What is the figure number 1 says that? Now don't be confused, both the figures are same, just they are definitely expressed to you that what will happen in this figure, what will happen in this figure. So this is the figure number 2 and this is the figure number 1. I'll explain you here. Now first of all, soil conservation means to prevent the soil from the erosion and also to maintain the quality of the soil. Soil's quality can be maintained only on the two factors. The first factor is that where the water sustainability should be there, and the second is that where the mineral or the chemical formation which is helpful for that should be also available in that soil. So what we can do, we can make some of the steps regarding that. So here the soil can be also somehow improved in its quality. So soil conservation can be done directly also and indirectly too. Here directly you can go and you can try to conserve the soil, preserve the soil. Indirectly you can create the check dams and all, they will conserve the soil and they will preserve the soil. You can plant the trees, that is indirect formation of the method here. So somehow we can say different remedies are composed or they are compared with these kinds of remedies here in the different places, and according to that all the steps are to be mentioned, or all the steps are to be mentioned in the level where you can somehow derive that soil conservation can be easily done. So that's the today's topic which I'm actually trying to make you understand here. So we need to solve out the problem, and we need to go with the problem to make it stop. Now what is happening here? You can just see the front elevation and the side elevation says that when the water is falling from upper ground to the lower ground, it will directly slope downside, and there is no any storage of the water. There is no any storage of the water in the slopy land. So here also this arrow shows you that how nicely the soil is situated underneath, but how badly the water is falling and it is just running down. It is not having any kind of still storage. So that is surface run water. Here the flow of the soil is very faster. It is not stopping any water inside that. So what you need to do? You need to do some technical investigations or some technical investments also. Water harvesting systems should be done in the terrace slope areas land, and also most of the water can be stored out. So there you can create some of the pits, or you can say you can create some of the ponds which are very different in the shape. You can also call it like water harvesting area where you are harvesting the water. So this is look like from the side view. Now what it has done, it has generally created by the farmers some of the holes like a pond structure, like a rectangular pond like hole. Now when the water is falling from there, the water is not falling and running directly. It is not like that. Okay, what is happening? The water is actually falling and it is going internally, and then overflowing, then going internally, and also going internally. This is the right formation. So in this formation we can say that soil, you can see that soil is consisting the water. Now this is the internal penetration of the water. The water is penetrated inside. This is the front elevation. Here you can find the water. Now if you can find the here water, it will also help the soil to sustain its quality, durability, and many more things. So that's the today's topic, how to conserve the soil, what are the methods of the soil conservation, and also how and which kind of steps should be taken like this, to steps which can help you to conserve the soil. So moving further, if I go with the remedies and all, this figure is shown in your textbook in the page number, and the lesson we can say that is the topic of 8.6 methods of the soil conservation. So here we need to understand that these can be making the risk of the risk of plant decaying, or the risk of plant drying, or the infertility in the soil lower. They are reducing the risk of that lower here. So which are the remedies to take that care of the soil here? Now we need to understand and read about the planning, formation, soil, and today's topic is about the remedies. Okay, now what are the remedies? The roots of the trees are growing faster internal to the soil, and they cover up holds the soil particle. So you should grow a tree. What you should grow, my dear students? That is like you should grow and plant some of the trees that will help you out. And these tree roots will be going very wide enough, very deep, so it can be also protected. So this is the first method. Second thing, you can say that plant trees are also inside the area where the gorges and mountains, plateaus are there, where the very you can find the plateaus are there, mountains are there, the rocky soil is there. There also you can plant this kinds of plant because it will hold up the soil. There too. And the third is that series of the plantation should be done, not one or two. Series of the plantation should be done near the desert area to prevent the wind blowing more and more soil and sand from that area. And also the river flow should be also controlled by diverging its flow inside the zone where already the water is available. They should be maintain their flow in the dry zones, in the zone where the flow is actually needing here. So that flood should not be coming in the area where the less trees are there and soil cannot be, and soil could be wiped out. So flood should be controlled in that area. The unrestricted pasteurization should be also, pasturing of the animals should be also stopped here. The people who are owning buffalo, cow, sheep, donkey, or milch cattle animal, or the animal which are grazing over the land, we can say that grass grazing animals, they should be also having a subsequent time period, and they should be also having that they should be also maintained well, not to graze extra amount of the grass from the soil, because grass also holds the good amount of the soil in beneath that. So that is also one of the example, and you can see in the page number 65 two figures are given in your SS textbook 8.7, that is the terrace farm, and the figure 8.8, that is the horizontal farming tool here. So you can check it out in your textbook lesson number 8 and page number that is 65. So my dear students, I hope you have understood in this lecture that what is soil conservation, how the soil is conserved, what are the methods to conservation, and also how it can be easily used out for the conservation purpose. So I hope this lecture is very interesting for you, and if you go more further, these kinds of examples can be very useful in your board exams, and also it can be useful for your general knowledge. Whenever you are sitting, whenever you are writing, whenever you are revising a subject, it can be helping you very well. And whenever I am teaching you, one thing you need to do, that you can take care of your own self by keeping a notebook, and also by trying to learn by the outer source medium of the own. So that is how we can create a good belief about the educational purpose. So this lecture was till here only, and we will meet in the part 5 about this lecture, where I will teach you the extra examples of this lesson, and also I'll give you the extra gyan. Till then, you can take care and keep revising and keep watching our lectures also regularly, continuously, and you can go more with your own examples, explore more from the textbook, and become more knowledgeable. Okay students, so wait for the next lecture. Until then, you can keep revising.